Hi everyone, I welcome you all for the part 1 video of the isolable analogy. In this video, we are going to understand the definition, meaning and few examples for isolable analogy. Roland Hoffmann awarded Nobel Prize in Chemistry in 1981 for this isolable analogy concept. This concept connects organic and inorganic chemistry. Hoffmann defined molecular fragments to be isolable if number, symmetry properties, and approximate energy and shape of the frontier orbitals and the number of electrons in them are similar, not identical but similar. So there are so many keywords in this. So we will first understand what is meant by the frontier orbitals. Frontier orbitals are the one which are the like valential electrons. Now they are the one which are actually going to take part in the reaction. They will either lose electron or will gain electron. So the two frontier orbitals that we usually come across are highest occupied molecular orbital HOMO or lowest unoccupied molecular orbital LUMO. So HOMO are the orbitals which loses the electron and LUMO are the orbitals which gains the electron. So these are the frontier orbitals. So now these frontier orbitals should be the number of frontier orbitals, the symmetry properties, the energy and the shape should be approximately same, and the number of electrons in them are also similar, right? They need not be exactly identical, but the shape of the orbitals can be similar, the energies of the orbitals can be similar, symmetry properties of the orbitals can be similar, right? And the number of electrons are equal in them. Then only we can call those two orbitals as isolable in nature. Now, the isolable is represented by this symbol, the two-ended arrow mark with the lobe in the in between. This is not circle. This represents lobe. The lobe here refers to on both the sides the species are isolable. Now, we are going to understand the isolable analogy between the octahedral fragment of the organometallic complex and tetrahedral fragment of the organic fragment. So first we will concentrate on the tetrahedral fragment of the organic fragment. The one which is taken here is CH4. Now the CH4 has 8 electron is a 8 electron species, and how we are going to understand this hybridization or the HOMO and LUMO of CH4. Now carbon has four electrons in its orbital and there are four hydrogens. They undergo the sp3 hybridization, and 4 plus 4 8 orbitals actually will be combined to form 4 bonding orbitals and 4 anti-bonding orbitals. Now the 4 bonding orbitals we usually call them as sp3 hybrid orbitals, and all the 8 electrons are accommodated in this. Now, similar to this, which has the CH4 also has the shape of tetrahedron. Similar to this, what is the corresponding species in the organometallic fragment? Since this is a 8 electron species, or in the organometallic fragment, we are going to consider the 18 electron species. Now, since all the vertices, that is all the 4 vertices of the tetrahedron are occupied with the hydrogen, we are going to consider the ligands in all the 6 corners of the octahedron. In that case, I am going to consider 6 ligand species. So that means that this will going to contribute 12 electrons to the whole electron count. The remaining electrons are 6. So on the metal orbitals, which has this electron in its neutral condition is chromium. So the example that is taken here is chromium CO 6 times. So now here the CrCO 6 times is an 18 electron species, whereas CH4 is a 8 electron species. Now all the 6 corners of the octahedron are occupied by carbonyl group, and all the 4 corners of the tetrahedron are occupied by the hydrogen. Now this is the HOMO and LUMO of the organometallic species and the organic species. So here this is also filled, this is also filled, and the LUMO is completely empty. So now this is how we are the frontier orbitals or uh, of the same type, right? The number of electrons and the energies or everything is very similar. So that is why CrCO 6 times is isolable to CH4. Then we consider from CH4 to CH3, where there is a loss of one corner. So that means if there is a loss of one corner, we are removing one hydrogen. That means we are going from CH4 to CH3. But there is one electron that is being present here. So on carbon, there are 4 electrons. There are only 3 hydrogens. So now we have only 7 electrons here. So now there is a difference in the arrangement of the energies of the orbitals. Now let us consider similar species on the organometallic side. So there is one corner less. So remove one corner from the octahedral, right? So you will get number of ligands or coordination number for the metal is now going to be 5. So this means that there are only going to be 10 electrons from the ligands. But how many electrons I needed, because number of electrons also should be same. On organic side, the number of electron is 7. So I have to, in this side, I need to have 17 electrons. So 10 electrons comes from the ligand. So there should be 7 electrons from the metal. Already we have 6 electrons here, so there is going to be one more electron here. Now the arrangement of this energy level in the organometallic fragment is very similar to the arrangement of the energy level on the organic fragment also. So that is why the D7 or MnCO5 times, which is a 17 electron species, is isolable with CH3, which is a 7 electron species. So like this, we can extend for the next one, remove the second vertex also from the tetrahedron. So now when we remove the second vertex also, we get CH2 fragment. So the number of electron is going to be 6. So that means correspondingly 16 electron species we need to consider on the organometallic side. So this gives you the 16 electron species, and the corresponding 16 electron carbonyl species is FeCO4 times. So the number of electrons are same, the arrangement of the orbitals also same, the number of vertices that are not occupied, or the number of corners that are not filled on the tetrahedron side as well as on the octahedron side are also same. The number of unpaired electrons that are present also same. So all these satisfy the rule that is given by Hoffman. That is why the corresponding species are isolobal. Now let us view them in a very easier way now. Each of these molecular fragments either has unpaired electrons. So now, I mean, all these fragments has unpaired electrons. So now CH3 is isolobal with MCl5. In this, we see that there are one unpaired electron and there is a loss of one vertices on either side. On CH2, there are loss of two vertices and presence of two unpaired electrons. On CH, there are loss of three vertices and presence of three unpaired electrons. And similar behavior we can see in the case of the organometallic species also. So now I am going to compare the isolobal between the main group and the organometallic fragment. Throughout this module, Mg will be main group and OM will be organometallic. So there, these two fragments, the two main group fragments can be isolobal and they can react together like this. And two organometallic groups can be isolobal and they can react like this. or one organometallic group can react with one main group. So this means that since this is a 17 electron species, this can be replaced by one of the 7 electron species from the main group. So that is what is achieved here. So such kind of reactions can be predicted, and these reactions are also reported in the journals. So now to summarize, this is the parent organic fragments, and these are the parent inorganic fragments. These are the organometallic examples. So let us take the first one. The first one is CH3, which is the 8 electron species. Corresponding inorganic species is 18 electron with Ml6. The example is given here. There are no vertices missing in the octahedron, parent octahedron, and the number of electrons that is filled or complete in both the cases in the final shell. When we come for the second in this, the CH3, which is a 7 electron species, this is equivalent to MCl5 in the inorganic or the organometallic side, which is a 17 electron species. There is a example given here. Now, in both the cases, in CH3 as well as in MCl5, there is one corner that is missing from the parent polyhedron, and in both the cases the electrons that is short of filled shell is 1. Both are 1 electron less than that is required. So similarly, CH2 is isolable with MCl4 and CH is isolable with MCl3. So apart from the electron count, we also understand that the number of missing vertices or the number of missing corners also should be same for the isolable species under consideration, and the number of missing electrons also should be the same, or you can even consider this as the number of unpaired electrons that is present in the outermost shell. So only when all these are satisfied, we call them as isolable. So in the next video, you will be looking into the extension of the isolable analogy and few problems. Thank you.